Okay, some of you may know the answer to this, but Carol will know the answer to this. So it's a video potentially directed at Carol. I've just come out to do some weeding. Mojo's been digging again. Just looking round, there was a few little weeds, so I've just pulled them out. And I was going along, and then I got to here, and I stopped to look at these, which are some sort of bulb that's growing. It's something to do with spring, and it's got the season wrong. I don't know what those are. That's not the point though. What is the point is just coming along and getting to things like this. And then we get in a bit deeper. And what we've got here is an Aquilegia. These are the flower spikes. This was in bloom when I got it from Carol, and it had the deep purple blooms on. Now down in here are some new leaves on the same plant. Now look very carefully at those leaves. These are the big leaves. These are the new leaves. Now backtrack. Are these Aquilegia seedlings? Self-seeded. It is possible the blooms were hanging over this section of the garden, but in here we have quite a lot of these. I'll get in close to some. Are those little Aquilegia seedlings? In which case they can stay there, not disturb them this year. We'll worry about moving them perhaps next year. And if they are, I'll be over the moon. And I'll be more over the moon if the pale coloured Aquilegia is self-seeded as well. But I can't get at that. It's buried up in there somewhere at the moment anyway. And just while we're looking at this border, one of the very, very few plants that didn't come from Carol is that gorgeous purple salvia there. That actually came from my orchid friend Alan, because he's also he grows an awful lot does a lot of gardening stuff. But that is being offset nicely next to the fuchsia blooms, both having shades of purple. So that's good. And that's taken okay. So, that's a perennial that will come up each year. Anyway, have we got Aquilegia seedlings? Or am I just being misled by a looky-likey type thing? There we go, just a quick video. I love ferns, and I love seeing new fronds coming. That's good. Now, those are weeds, and I've got to get in there. I'm starting to go very careful in the garden because of these little friends. The problem with these is they make their webs across places. Now there doesn't matter so much, but you're liable to get a web like going across here. Now I've just gone round the other part of the garden where that laurel bush is and walked between the laurel and that conifer and got a web all over my face and hair. The problem is I don't know whether there was a spider in it or not. I went absolutely mad whacking my hair around to make sure it wasn't on me. They do good in the garden. You shouldn't harm them really. Spiders do good in the garden, eating bugs and things, but I don't want them on me, thank you very much. Anyway, that was just a quick video sort of pointed at Carol. This Aquilegia here, this has really got a grip. This is taking nicely. And I don't actually see any young ones in here. Got to watch this stuff. It seeds everywhere, and it is a weed. But strictly speaking, it's a wild flower. That's a weed. It's a wild flower, but it's invasive. It could easily take over. This Aquilegia is taken quite nicely. Not quite sure why it's right on top of one of the primroses, but so be it. At some point this border will need some redesigning, because you know, some stuff didn't grow, not much, most of it grew, and some of it will eventually be deemed in the wrong place because it'll be too far forward or too far back, that sort of thing. Got a geranium here right on the edge. Well, having some things spilling over the edge is okay, but the edge really ought to be things for things like the violets and the primroses and the very low growing things that will cover this edge up, like the bugle in there, that's taking quite nicely. That will take over that corner, so that'll be good. But yeah, you know, some of the more ground cover plants, some a splash of colour at a certain time of year, and then it doesn't matter after that if they're hidden by something else. But it's going to take a bit more planning than I've done so far. So far things sort of got plonked in and hope they grow. But yeah, things can be moved. You know, once they're established at the right time of year, they will move successfully. Anyway, Aquilegia seedlings, yes or no?